I'm going to show you how to build the simplest router jig in 5 minutes. You're going to be able to cut dados, rebates, rabbits, any type of groove you want, as long as it's straight. But literally, this is the simplest jig that anyone could build. The bonus to this jig is that I'm going to make it with the most basic tools that pretty much all DIYers will have, and scrap wood from offcuts of this workshop build. I've got loads of this stuff, which is plywood. You can check those videos out on making the workshop and getting to this stage. I'll put a link in the description, or maybe a link up here or there or wherever. Without further ado, let's look at the tools we're going to use today. So first one, I'm going to assume if you've got a router and you're looking for videos on router jigs, that you've got a circular saw. Most people have got them. Doesn't matter whether it's corded or cordless, does the same thing. Also a spirit level. This is going to be your straight edge. And essentially what I'm doing is I'm replicating like a track saw here. If you've got a track saw and that's what you want to use, go ahead. But I'm just demonstrating that this can be done with the most basic of tools, which is the circular saw and the spirit level. Now, the reason for the spirit level is this is probably one of the most common things that a DIYer will have. It's machined, so that's a really good flat edge, a reference that you're going to need to build this jig. And that's the all-important part, is that this jig needs the flat edge. Measuring things, some clamps, and of course, your router and your drill driver set. Like I said, the most basic of tools. Let's take a look at the scrap wood we're going to use. Again, if you want to see the video where these offcuts come from, just check out the links in the description or check my channel out. Give me a subscribe. So what I need to do is I need to get a reference edge. Now I'm going to do a new edge. I think I'll do it on this piece here. So this is where we use our circular saw. Check that's roughly the same measurements each side. We're going to create our reference edge using this spirit level's flat edge. And that's going to be the reference to all of our straight cuts. Now be sure when you do this is to keep the circular saw flat against the spirit level. Now the rest is easy peasy. So I'm using my Hikoki or Metabo HPT cordless router, but you can use any router you want. Two very important things. With this jig, you're going to need to use one router bit. If you want to use a different router bit with a jig, you're going to have to make another jig for it, because the edge of this jig will be referenced to that router bit. So that's one very important thing. And also the other thing is, whatever router you're using, to make sure that you use one side of your router platform. Now you can mark that. I've marked mine with a bit of tape and put an arrow on it, but you can mark it down with a Sharpie or anything like that. As long as you know which side of your router you're using, that'll do just fine. So place your straight edge on top of your other new bit of scrap. Measure to make sure you've got enough to cut away with the router and screw it down. So now we've got a straight edge up against this section here that's going to be cut. This is where our router comes in. We've got our reference edge on the router. Glasses. Right, be very careful, obviously. Right. So let's give this a go. What we'll do is, with a spirit level, we'll mark out a straight line that we want to cut into. Let's say we'll do some drawers in a cabinet. Okay, there's our straight line with the spirit level. Let's get our newly made jig on there, just like you would use a track saw or anything like that. Okay, and clamp the bit down. Remember, reference edge against reference edge. We should be all right. I've managed to mess it up. All right, well, let's see where we've gone wrong then. That's all wonky. I'm going to give it another go. This should work really easily. Right. That's looking better. Two rebates. One with slightly wonkiness because I didn't clamp it down properly, and the other one perfectly straight. So there you go. Cut straight lines with a jig every time.